'Cause we've been around a long time.
Did Michael Jackson sell his soul to become the king of pop? Go on, say your little bit now.
I'm so tired of y'all. I wish y'all leave Michael Jackson alone. This man been dead since 2009. And then somebody always want to dig up some negative something about him. He was the greatest entertainer of all time.
Now we got Jackie out of the way. In celebrity culture, we often hear... In celebrity culture, we often hear stories of fame and fortune, but what happens when the path to stardom takes a sinister twist? In a world where talent, charm, and ambition can propel individuals to unimaginable heights, some celebrities have baffled us with their claims of unholy deals. They say that Lucifer is the god of music and that Michael Jackson is the king of pop. Therefore, what would make a black man the king of the devil's music? Sarcasm and humor is the easiest way to hide the truth, they say, to basically give their praise and thanks to the evil that got them where they are without letting the public know. Just like Gus said to Walter in the television show Breaking Bad, if you have not seen Breaking Bad, your ass is doing yourself a disservice. If you love The Sopranos, you will love Breaking Bad. Different premise, but the show keeps you engaged, okay?
It was a very good show.
Like, that's what Gus said to Walter White. I hide in plain sight, just like you do. And that's exactly what the devil does, they say. He hides in plain sight. It's so obvious when you truly think about it. It's crazy that these people think a short life of fame on earth is worth losing their internal soul. Who amongst us did not grow up on Michael Jackson's music?
Well, people are still growing up on Michael Jackson music. Young, old, and in between, everybody loves Michael Jackson.
They be in the 5th grade in the talent show doing Michael Jackson.
Exactly.
Okay. Now, full disclosure, I grew up in Gary, Indiana. I was there before they made it big, the Jackson 5, all right? They were in amateur shows. They were so good at one point that they couldn't even compete. They had to be special guests. Now, they had a cousin that lived a block away from us, still a friend of mine today. It was, when you go outside and you play with kids in the neighborhood?
Right.
That was Malin, okay? Mm-hmm. I've known Malin since my mama took me outside, all right? He used to sell tickets and whatnot to their talent shows. And again, we've seen these cats for a long time, had been around them when they used to come to the Stewart house, when they came over that way to play at the playground where we played and whatnot. And again, Malin was always selling tickets. And by the time we got tired of seeing the Jackson 5, he came to us one day. I'll never forget this day. Malin came to us, and the Jackson 5 was in another talent show, and didn't nobody want to go to the talent show, okay? Because we had been there, done that, okay? And so when we didn't go, about a month later, the Jackson 5 came on the Ed Sullivan Show. The rest, of course, is history. And well, some of you all did not know, another full disclosure, before they were called the Jackson 5, the name of the group was called the Ripples and the Waves. Did you know that? Did you know that the Jackson 5's first song wasn't I Want You Back or ABC? The first song was called Big Boy. I'm a big boy now, looking for somebody to love. If you wasn't from Gary, Indiana.
Well, we know you definitely was in the running for being in the group.
Let me tell you, I forgot to tell you that. I was the lead singer of the Jackson 5, okay?
In your mind.
Yeah, but see, what happened was I couldn't keep my grades up at school, so my mama pulled me from.
No, that was one of them. What happened was,
and that's how Mike got the job.
Lies.
My grades failed. Joe was working the shit out of us, mine.
We wouldn't put you in the category with Cat Williams, right?
So I wasn't able to stay in because, again, I couldn't keep my grades, so my mom got tired of driving me over to the rehearsals. But the real question becomes, what made Michael Jackson so huge? One theory is Michael Jackson did not sell his soul, but that it was Joe Jackson, his father, that sold Michael Jackson when he was a child. A few months after Michael died, his brother did an interview, Jermaine Jackson, said that Joe would take Michael to a hotel to meet with record executives. He said Joe would drop Michael off and come home alone. When they would ask where was Michael, Joe said that Michael was with Quincy Jones having business meetings at the hotel. Now, we all know what Quincy Jones was about. Tupac told you that. Okay. Freaky deaky.
Turned out almost all of them are freaky deaky. It's like, are there any straight men?
I don't know. Then Jermaine stated when Michael would come back home, he would be extremely tired and sick. Jermaine said he was sick from eating candy, is what he was told. So, yeah, he had an obligation to fill in and do what his father told him. Let's remember that Joe Jackson wanted them to be more famous and rich than they did. Joe was looking for a way out. Joe worked in the steel mills of Gary, Indiana. That's all that's in Gary, Indiana was steel mills, fam. We shipped the steel up to Detroit. The Golden Gate Bridge is used with Gary, Indiana steel. A lot of things built in this country is built with Indiana steel. But Joe was looking for a way out, man. He was operating a crane that moved a big round dilly thingies. That's what my mom did. She used to test the steel when it was done on the big coils. And Joe's job was to pick them up and move them from place to place.
Now, do you know that when Michael Jackson passed away, he didn't leave Joe anything in his will? What Joe was doing before he passed away is in Las Vegas, he had one of those kiosks in the middle of the mall. Yeah. And he was selling what he was calling his Michael Jackson cologne. Yeah. And that's what he was doing to make his money while he was still alive.
Did Joe leave any of them Viagra's to anybody?
Let's hope they threw them all in the trash.
I think they say Joe died because he had been popping 2 or 3 of them puppies at a time, trying to get his Joe Louis up.
He actually survived that episode. He was celebrating his birthday, and he took apparently more Viagra than he should have.
Yeah, it's your birthday, Joe.
He had a room full of female. I think they were belly dancers or
ain't no telling,
strippers.
Ain't no telling.
They were like in one of those type of professions, but there was like 4, 5, 6 of them. Yeah, and he ended up in the hospital and
passed out. Any man would
in intensive care.
Any red-blooded American man would.
He took too many of the Viagra and he had a stroke and some more stuff. All the kids, well, not all the kids, but Janet and some more of the children came in and was with him because he almost died from that.
You know, Prince wrote a song about Joe Jackson.
Yeah.
Called Get It Up. Joe Jackson wanted the Jackson 5 to be, he wanted them famous and rich more than they themselves did. They said if Michael Jackson had come out in today's society, he would have broken the internet. Michael Jackson's music is just timeless. But did Mike sell his soul? They say that Michael Jackson slept for days so that he could talk to evil spirits. Now, don't attack me. I'm just relaying the gossip, speculation, and innuendo. Okay? I got this from another guy, and I found it interesting, so I thought that I would bring it to you. So don't attack me saying that I'm a devil worshiper, this, that, and the third. I ain't got time for none of that. Now, they say that Michael Jackson slept for days so that he could talk to the spirits so that he could get hit records before Prince did. It further goes on to state that Liberace, a well-known LGBT guy, a legendary piano player, had a secret affair with Michael Jackson for 7 years. Had you ever heard about that?
Now, the part of the story I heard was not that Liberace had the affair with him. Liberace's live-in lover, Scott Thorson, is the one that says he had a 7-year affair with Michael. Mm-hmm. There's a picture from 1981 where Scott is sitting next to Michael, and I guess somebody was speculating at how romantic the picture looked. Mm-hmm. And that's when he came out and said that he and Michael had been romantic.
So he's got to be dead by now. If he was dating Liberace, he was old as dinosaur poop himself.
No. He was younger. He was like
younger guy.
Yeah, he was like in his 20s or 30s.
Oh, dating a celebrity.
Yeah, exactly. And he's still alive, as a matter of fact. Yeah, so that's how that part went with Liberace.
So they're saying that Michael Jackson and Liberace had a 7-year affair, and that Liberace was satanic too, and that Liberace was the one that turned Michael Jackson on to Satanism. Basically, they were devil worshippers, so it's been said. That's why Michael Jackson dressed like that. That's why Liberace dressed like that, and that's why they look genderless, if you would, androgynous. They call it, like David Bowie. Back in the 70s, you didn't know if he was a boy or a girl or whatever, as Princess said. Michael Jackson really had no facial hair. Liberace had no facial hair. And they also say that's the reason Mike was able to dance like that, because in his dance, he was worshiping the spirits through his moves. Okay? It's also been said that there were 3 ways that Michael Jackson got his songs. 1, he climbed the tree called the Tree of Knowledge at his home. The Giving Tree is what they called it. And there he would sit until the demons came to him. The second way Michael Jackson was said to have got his songs is he went to a room in his house full of mirrors where he channeled spirits. And when Liberace died, he channeled Liberace's spirit and got permission from old Liberace to take certain content and use it in his songs. The third way that Michael Jackson got his songs is he would intentionally sleep for days so he could dream. And that he could channel different spirits and talk to Satan. That's what caused his death, oversleeping, because naturally a human being can only sleep from 6 to 8 hours, unless you were like us today, you working your ass off, nigga. You sleeping for 9 to 10 damn hours. But if they put you on sleeping medications, or if they sedate your ass, they can extend that period of time of sleep to half a day. But Michael Jackson was sleeping for 2 or 3 days straight, hoping to get his next hit from the god of music, Lucifer himself, in a dream. Do you believe any of that?
No, I do not. And from what I have known or heard throughout the years about him and his sleep is, like, for one, back in the 80s, remember when he was sleeping in that hyperbaric oxygen chamber?
Yeah.
He was doing that because he felt like it could help him live to be 150 years old.
That didn't work out.
That it was slow. See,
I don't mean to be cruel. I don't mean to be.
See,
but as we all know, that shit didn't work.
And that it would slow the aging process. He also was obsessed with his looks, and he wanted to live a long life. So that's why for many years,
don't we all?
He slept in that hyperbaric chamber. Mm-hmm. Then they also said that was known for his good songwriting abilities, and that he would often write down the lyrics as soon as he thought of them. Yeah,
because he said he always kept a pad by his bed.
Right.
But they said that's what most people should do.
Right.
Put that by your bed, so when you wake up, any thoughts that came to you, you could write them down. Same thing with being in the shower. Yeah. As you said, some of your best ideas.
A lot of my ideas come in the shower. Yes, definitely. Water helps me with the thought process a lot. But they're saying also that the songs Man in the Mirror and Ben were both inspired by his dreams.
I can believe that. Yeah. Mike was amazing.
Yeah.
Now, so you're probably wondering, how on earth did Mike get the sleeping medication? They say that the record labels spent $150,000 a month to get Michael Jackson sedated illegally. And at the end of each month, Michael Jackson was sending their money back because he didn't want no direct contact to the dope dealers. Now, the Jackson family tried to sue Conrad Murray. You remember old Conrad?
He's the only one that would accept the money.
Yeah.
They were getting this in place for this 50 city tour that he was about to do. And so that's where the $150,000 a month came in. And Michael had tried to get several of his other doctors to accept this, and none of them would for ethical reasons. Conrad Murray was the only one that accepted it, and look where that got him.
Yeah, because they said when Mike was up there dying, old Conrad was on the phone.
He was in the hallway on the phone, exactly.
And then when you tried to give him CPR, you did it on a bed, and everyone knows that you're supposed to have a solid surface. And you being a medical professional, how in the hell did you not know that?
But now think about it. Who would remember any of their medical stuff at the point that you kill Michael Jackson.
Yeah, if you was just some
Out of
regular
all
schmo, he
people-
just drug your ass off the bed. But it's Michael Jackson.
Out of all people in the
Panicking
world,
now.
you done killed Michael Jackson.
Yep.
Hitler.
Jackson family tried to sue Conrad Murray, but they lost in a civil suit because it wasn't Conrad Murray's fault. It was Michael's decision. You remember when Cat Williams, and we're going to get into the Cat Williams deal thingy, but you remember when Cat Williams did the joke about Michael? And he said, now, come on, man. You think Michael gave a propofol to himself? That he woke up talking about, Conrad, where are you? And Mike looked down, he saw the thing, reached down, took the shit and hit himself and went back to sleep. Okay. Conrad was supposed to have been there watching, but of course we all know the history of that. Now, you say you don't believe it.
No, I don't believe none of that.
I have a list of celebrities who have supposedly sold their souls to the devil. But the most famous story was Robert Johnson, the blues guitarist. Remember him?